Hi, welcome back to my channel, Tristane Fleming. I know it's been a long time since I've made a video and posted on YouTube. However, something has happened that made me feel like I needed to come back and do a video. It is simply to set the record straight on some of the facts that were presented on the episode of Snapped regarding the Donna Matthews murder trial of Michael Gayan. It aired last week, and I got a link from the producer to watch it. And as I watched it, there were some things on there that I really feel I need to correct and get straight for the record. So if you want to learn more about the Donna Matthews murder trial of Michael Gayan, please stick with me. I have some things I need to talk about regarding the Snapped episode. Several months ago, I got a message from the producer of Snapped telling me that the lighting on my filming was bad, and they wanted to know if I would come back out and refilm the entire segment. I had said that I would, however, I never heard anything back from anyone again on that topic. They had also asked me if I wanted to share my link to YouTube, and for those of you who are thinking that I did this all for fame and glory, just so you know, I never did provide that link to the show. Not that I didn't want to, but I just didn't feel like I wanted to be that connected to this story anymore. I have been harassed, I have been bullied, I have been threatened. There have been a lot of things that have been going on ever since I started talking about Donna Matthews in the way that people don't want me to be talking about her. In the beginning, I was very, very much supportive of Donna and believed all of the lies that she had told me, that this was a domestic violence case, that she was protecting herself and defending herself. As I went through the trial, the truth started coming out, and I was starting to question a lot of things that Donna had told me in her letters and on the phone, and some of the things that her friends had been telling me as well. So through the process, my mind started changing because the facts were being presented, and I could no longer stand behind someone that I felt brutally murdered somebody in cold blood. That didn't mean that I stopped supporting or loving Donna. Of course, I love her and I support her. However, I had to shift my support in a different way. My support went from I want her out of jail to I need her to get help. However, I'm not one of her closest friends, as many of her friends have said in these posts, in the comments, that I'm not her closest friend. We did have a time where I was not close with her. Because I moved to Chicago, so I wasn't in contact with her a whole lot. It wasn't that we didn't like each other or that we weren't friends anymore. As a matter of fact, when we saw each other, we were very happy to see each other, and our friendship just kind of picked up where it had left off. In fact, when I started this whole process of defending Donna, all of her friends were behind me, they were supporting me, they were encouraging me, they were pushing me to write her story and to tell Donna's story. So now it's been almost a year since her trial last summer, which was in the end of June and early July. Donna had given permission to the producers of Snapped to not only discuss her trial with her, but also that the producers could actually interview her friends and family regarding this case. Things got out of control when Donna had decided that she was going to appeal. However, we knew that this was a dead-end case, but I was getting threatened by many of her friends and family that I should not go on the show because it would affect her appeal. Now, I had went directly to the producer and talked to the producer and said, look, I don't want to do anything to jeopardize Donna, even though I wasn't supporting her in this way anymore. I still wasn't out to hurt her or to hurt her trial by any means. But that's how everybody saw it. Everyone on Donna's side began to see me as the enemy, not her friend. I wanted to make sure that whatever I was doing when I went to go film Snapped, that I was not going to be hurting Donna, that nothing I would say would look as if I was turning against her or stabbing her in the back or trying to hurt her appeal process. So the producer had reassured me that none of that was going to happen, that they really just wanted to tell Donna's story, and that from my viewpoint of being a friend and knowing her from the past, that it would be beneficial that I came out and spoke to them. Now, some of the questions that they asked me were very much in line with what I said. And I was very honest about our friendship because we had a very good friendship, so it wasn't anything bad. Then they asked me how I knew about Donna's case. And I just told them the story of how I found out and how I got involved with talking to Donna again, as well as being involved with her friends. They then asked me how the court trial went. I proceeded to tell them some of the things that I knew, not a whole lot, but things that I was learning through the trial, things that were contradictory to what Donna had told me versus what the prosecution had proof of. I was very heartbroken over the fact that I had been lied to and manipulated in that manner, and it showed in my interview. However, that's not a part of the interview that they showed. So I do have to give the show a lot of credit for that. They didn't take anything that I said out of context in order to hurt Donna or make Donna look bad. However, there were some things in the story about Donna and the day that she went and murdered Michael Gayan that are not in line with what actually happened. Now, Snap tells it that she was coming back for her mother's funeral. That's not actually what happened. Her mother had not died before she killed Michael Gayan. The true story behind why Donna came on July 4th had nothing to do with her mother. It had everything to do with Michael Gayan. They were planning on getting married. She had agreed to marry him, and she had told Michael Gayan that she was flying in on July 5th. However, she came on the 4th specifically to murder him. Her brother had gotten a gun in order to protect himself against Michael Gayan because of the things that Donna was telling him and the threats made against him. So Derek was trying to protect himself against all the lies that Donna was telling to Derek Matthews. She then convinces him to give her that gun. And so they meet at the Brat stop in Kenosha on July 4th. Now, the reason why Donna decided to shoot Michael Gayan on the 4th of July is because the house is located very close to Lake Michigan. Now, Lake Michigan is where they light off all the fireworks for the 4th of July. So Donna had already discussed this with Derek to determine whether or not the gun would blend in with the fireworks and nobody would really hear the gun because they would mistake them for fireworks. And that is the reason why Donna came on the 4th of July. On the 4th of July, she had called Michael Gayan and told him that she was there to surprise him. She actually told him to meet her in his other rental property to get him out of the house. While he was out of the house going to the other property, Donna snuck into his home and hid. This was planned for a long time. She had tried plotting his murder to push him off a cliff in Hawaii. She had spoken to many people about that plot. However, that did not go through. Now, the other thing that Snapped got wrong about her mother's death is that the very next day after she murdered Michael Gayan, her and her friends and her daughters took a road trip to Michigan. Her mother had not died before this. She was still alive. They went to Michigan on July 5th to visit her. Now, what happened next is her mother actually passed away while she was there. The testimony in the court was that her mother really wasn't sick. And this was a lie that everyone was saying, that she was dying, she was very, very sick, and that this was the reason why she had to come back to Wisconsin. But the testimony proved that that was not the case. Her mother really hadn't been sick prior to this point. It was just a story that was told in her story about why she came here. But her mother had not been sick prior to the date that she went to go see her. Her mother passes away a couple days later. Now, this is a story where everyone in the court starts to get very confused because, again, Donna is using this story as a means to say why she's there. And everyone testifies that her mother had not been sick prior to this point, but now her mother passes away and Donna doesn't go to the funeral. Snapped is telling the story that she's coming back to Wisconsin for a funeral, but that funeral took place just a few days after Donna had already killed Michael Gayan. So there was no funeral for her to go to. As a matter of fact, she doesn't even go to her mother's funeral, which is used in the court against her to say, why didn't she go to the funeral? And that's the testimony that the family gives, that there was no funeral, she was cremated. And so this story that Snapped used, that she was there for the funeral, is really kind of wonky, and it doesn't make any sense why they would use that story, because the reality is that Donna had already planned to come back. She had told Michael Gayan she was going to marry him. She'd be here on the 5th of July. She comes back a day early, and she doesn't tell him until she's already there waiting for him to get out of the house so she can go into the house to murder him. So the story that they use is completely false. It's not true. It doesn't even line up with the facts, and it does not line up with the time of events that happened. Now, the reason why I felt that was very crucial information is because it shows the mindset of Donna. She had it already figured out what she was going to do. She did not tell anyone she was coming a day early. And the reason why she came back to Wisconsin had nothing to do with her mother. Derek actually testified that his mother had not been sick prior to that time. So when Donna got there and she goes to visit her mother, she finds out that her mother's sick at that point. And that's why she ends up going to see her mother. Her mother had not been sick before that. So why Snapped used this story is really confusing to me. They really got that timeline wrong. They got the information wrong. It kind of set you up into this thinking that she had a purpose to be here other than killing Michael Gayan. She told him she was coming back to be with him. However, she came back the day early to surprise him and murder him. In the sense of TV and drama, that they somehow overlooked those important details, because to say that she came back for a funeral is not true, because there was no funeral for her to go back to. She was already here when her mother passed away. The other information that was overlooked in the program was that Josh Taylor, he was very close with Derek. They were like family to one another, and they spent a lot of time talking about some things that were going on with Donna. Josh had been warning Derek for months about Donna and basically telling Derek, you know, she could be lying. This doesn't sound right. There's something that just doesn't fit. Josh was very smart to pay attention to the signals. He kind of understood Donna's behavior. At one point, Donna was so hostile that she wasn't even allowed to come on the property where Derek lived because the landlord just didn't want her drama there. Something's going on with Donna, that she's burning a lot of bridges. She is creating a lot of problems with a lot of different people. And Josh sees this. And Josh is warning Derek, don't listen to everything your sister's telling you. Something's not right. And in the process, Josh also finds out that Derek is helping Donna with the situation and getting a gun and murdering Michael Gayan. Now, he did know that they were plotting this, that they were talking about it. So Josh had already known that this was in the works. However, Josh, he really wasn't sure what to do with that. He had tried to convince Derek to go to the police and turn his sister in, but Derek was really afraid. Derek said, no, I can't do that. He really felt like if he did, he was going to make matters worse for Donna because of all the things that Donna was telling Derek. He was scared out of his mind of what was going to happen to not only Donna, but to him and possibly anyone else in his family, because of all the crazy lies that Donna was telling him. The other thing that's not told in this story on Snapped is that Derek is then presented with the facts when he comes forward while he's in jail. He doesn't realize just how much Donna had lied to him. He is horrified to find out that all this time that Donna had been telling him that Michael Gayan was tracking her down, that she was actually inviting him. He had seen all the proof, all the emails, all the text messages that were sent to Michael Gayan, and he began to see that everything his sister had told him was a flat out lie. It must have been devastating for Derek to have been so manipulated into this plot, this craziness. And then to find out that when Derek is arrested, Donna basically tells everyone, someone's already been arrested for it, so it can't be me, when people are trying to think that it could be her. She's already trying to pin this on her brother at that time, even though she'll tell everyone afterwards that she wants to protect Derek. She should have thought about that before she put him in the situation and lied to him immensely about every single story. Now, the other thing you're going to notice is that when you watch these videos, if you actually go into the comments, you'll see how I've been harassed and people telling me I don't know what I was talking about, that I'm just a crazy effed up bitch and I don't know anything. But the reality is that I have spoken out on the truth of this matter, and they don't like it. They don't like that I'm willing to tell the truth about the entire story rather than everyone in believing Donna's lies. Because I have seen people that have written on the Kenosha News that they knew Donna, so this is messed up and she would have only have done this if she had been provoked. However, those of us who really know Donna, we know her patterns. We've seen this crazy behavior in her where she lashes out in a very violent way. And she had lied so much about Michael Gayan that she began to believe it herself. She had created this nightmare scenario in her mind and began believing it. And then when the truth came out, when all of those text messages and all of those emails proved that everything that she was saying, all these threats made against her and her family, are completely untrue. None of it was there. There was no proof whatsoever of anything Donna had been telling everyone. Most people who know Donna very rarely even got a chance to see her and Michael Gayan together, except for Stacy. And Stacy actually showed me some of the emails and text messages from Michael Gayan. When Stacy Tenuta and I went out for dinner one night, we got together to kind of discuss things, and I wanted to get some more information so that I could really tell Donna's story a little bit better. At this point, I was still believing the story. I was still under the impression that whatever Donna was telling me was true and accurate. But I go to meet Stacy, and I start reading these texts from Michael, and I see nothing that seems threatening whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I even say to Stacy, I don't get it. I don't see anything here where he's threatening. Where is this coming from? And she looks me in the eyes and she says, I don't know. She may have heard those stories from Donna, but she's also getting text messages from Michael Gayan because Stacy is very close to Donna. So Michael's going to reach out to Stacy and go, what's going on? And that's what those text messages were. What is she doing? Why is she doing this to me? Those were the messages that I saw. It was more of her attacking him, not the other way around. He's asking for help. Why is she doing this to me? Why is she going out of her way to hurt me? Why is she playing these games with me? And I, at that moment, felt something inside of me that had to begin questioning things. I wasn't sure what was happening anymore. And that's where everything started to unravel for me. That's when I realized something wasn't right. Now, I don't say this for quite some time because I'm still unsure. I'm stuck in the middle of stories. I have not seen anything with my own eyes besides the text messages that Stacy had showed me from Michael Gayan. And at that point, I see no trace of abuse or violence or threats against Donna whatsoever. And even Stacy doesn't see it. So now when we start going to trial, I am 100% behind Donna. Okay, maybe I'm not 100% behind her. I've got a tinge of doubt in the back of my mind based on the meeting that I had with Stacy. At that meeting also, Stacy is begging me to continue telling Donna's story. She's asking me, please keep writing. Please keep telling Donna's story. Donna is loving what you're doing. Just be encouraged and know that what you're doing is helping us and helping her. And so I do. And then all of a sudden I get kind of lost. After that meeting with Stacy, I don't really have a lot of contact with these girls anymore. It's almost as if my questioning these text messages from Michael scares everyone off. Like, she's getting to see the truth and we can't have that truth come out. So I kind of got lost in the crowd. I was no longer really close to these girls anymore. I was no longer close with Donna. I was still having a couple conversations with her here and there while she was in the detention center. But other than that, I really did not have that close connection. Stacy said, look, she's really questioning things. I'm not sure if she's going to be behind you anymore. That could have been it. I don't know. I just know that all of a sudden, Donna fell off the face of the earth to me. And I tried talking to Stacy at one of the pre-trial hearings and asked her what was going on. And she had told me that the guards at the jail were making her life miserable. They were picking on her. Donna was pulling out her hair because they were putting her in solitary confinement and all this stuff. I had never heard anything like that. Donna did not mention any of that to me, but this is what Stacy's relaying to me. So I'm taking Stacy's word for it. She was sending me letters in the beginning. She was very gung-ho. She was calling me a lot and begging me to tell her story. And again, I think when I began to question just the little things and I started to see the truth, I think I was kind of ousted at that point as someone who's probably going to be smart enough to figure this all out. And I was. And it's very unfortunate that a lot of the girls in this group just don't want to see the truth. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I homeschool my son. I'm not looking for fame and fortune whatsoever, and I surely wouldn't do it off the back of somebody who murdered someone. That's not what I want to be known for. I want to be known for some of the other things that I do, but I don't need it from strangers. I want to be known for that from my family and my friends who do know me and know that I'm a good person and that I will always tell the truth rather than trying to save someone's feelings by lying. And that's what I did. When I went on Snap, I told the entire truth. I was also told what was going on behind my back when I got there. I was told about the calls that were made by Linda, Donna's friend, that I was crazy, I was nuts, I was a compulsive liar, I wasn't to be trusted. The producers of Snap saw right through that and knew exactly what they were trying to do. That Linda and Donna were really trying to get me to stop talking because they knew I knew the truth. They knew that what I was saying was the absolute truth, that I was actually presenting the facts from the court, talking about the evidence that was presented against Donna that proved Donna had been lying. And these women did not want the world to know that Donna was lying and manipulating everyone from the very start.